And we're live. The news, a week and a half late, but that's okay because last time we got screwed up. What's up,
Yeah.
Justin?
What's going on, John?
Same shit, man. Same shit. I just went to the gym, and then after this, I got to go to my little niece's 2-year-old birthday party.
Oh, that should be fun.
Oh, yeah, loads. I'm just excited to see the kid, but other than that, it's not going to be fun. Anyway, what's happening with you?
Nothing. Worked all week. I didn't go to work yesterday. I tweaked my back on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh,
I
really?
I stepped without realizing. Like I took one step, and then my next step was like 2 inches lower.
Right.
So like it threw me off. Dude, oh my God. So I saw a comment. So I woke up Friday morning, and I'm like,
fuck it.
I can't even fucking move.
Yeah. Listen, it's a dangerous job, dude. Well, speaking of dangerous jobs, listen to this. There was a guy on YouTube. I don't know who his name is. I forgot. I saw a reaction video to the actual guy who did it. And he went around, I want to say some party town. So it was either Nashville or Vegas or something like that. And he asked these girls, what would you rather do? Would you rather have a CEO position for no money, no pay? Or would you rather be a sewer worker for $100,000 a year? And every girl said a CEO position for no money.
Of course they
would. They only want equality at the top. At the bottom, they don't give a shit. They don't care.
No. That's why I don't think I've ever seen a female sanitation worker, which I'm sure there are.
Yeah, right.
But they're probably so few and far between.
Yeah, I had one girl that. Oh, you remember her, Lindy, that used to work with us. Other than that, what is it?
My is the yeah. I don't know. I was already transferred out of there, but I think I saw. I don't think I ever introduced myself. I only saw her a few times.
Yeah. She's retired now. But anyway, let's get to the news because we got some interesting shit going on, some crazy shit going on.
Yeah, we got. Well,
what do you want to start with? There's a lot going on.
I think I want to do the Flash.
Okay, yeah, that's the best one.
The Flash is a diddler.
He's still missing, by the way.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Well, he's the Flash. They can't catch him.
Ezra Miller, right? That's his name?
Well, what other movies was he in?
The Fantastic Beast or some shit like that. I did a bunch of kiddie movies, obviously. But when he did the Justice League, he was only like 23 years old or something like that. And he's like this non-binary lunatic, right? Yeah. And this is his second order of protection against two young girls, right? Yeah. 2 young girls?
Are they girls or are they boys?
I want to say they're girls, but I'm not sure.
They identified as girls.
Yeah. So one girl is 18, and the parents brought her up on charges, but supposedly they're Indian from, I think, North Dakota. And according to their tribal community, she's still considered a minor, so they're able to charge him. The other girl from, like, Massachusetts or something like that, she's like 12. And from what I understand, from what I read, he's trying to groom them. So groom them means make them basically part of the LGBT community, like basically saying you're non-binary and so on and so forth. So let's see. I actually have the article. Okay, so the accused 29-year-old Justice League star psychologically manipulating, physically intimidating, and endangering the safety of the welfare of Takata Iron Eyes, which is the Native American girl.
I think she was from Massachusetts.
Yeah, well, that's the other one. This one is the girl from North Dakota. So the tribal court judge approved the interim order Tuesday, but the court cannot locate Miller to serve him because he's missing. So apparently, here's the one thing that's screwed up. When they were filming this particular movie, and I guess they were filming it in North Dakota. I mean, I might be wrong, but he was involved with some kind of community service, and the parents let the 12-year-old go to like London and New York City with him and so on and so forth, along with some other like kids like from the tribal community. So it's like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Have you seen the guy?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's
I thought
unbelievable.
it looked like Sandra
Like,
Bullock a little bit. I'm like,
I
oh,
mean,
that's
have you not seen the R. Kelly documentary at this point, or the Michael Jackson stuff going? I mean, why would you let your 12-year-old
out
and
of your
two
sight
and
around anybody that has any
that's
sort of
not
influence.
family? Yeah, what, why? Ridiculous. Anyway, so he is, and he's got Flash coming out 2023.
Show's gonna bomb.
And oh yeah, of course it is, because especially now with this out. And Warner Brothers has claimed that they are not doing anything else with him after Flash.
You
So
can't.
there goes his career. You know, I don't understand it. Hollywood people are just fucking nuts, man. Like
Weird. It's not even that
really
they're just weird. They're in such a strange. It's not even all of them. Like there's.
no, there's not. The old school guys are still like Clint Eastwood, Stallone, Schwarzenegger. They, you know,
But it's like.
it's the newer group. You know, the Amber
And the stuff
Heards.
they come out with, like with their tweets, and it's like, oh yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Like, who the fuck are you? You live in a mansion. You got private security. You're telling me how to live my fucking life?
It's not your child. It's not your child.
No, I don't.
Mind
Listen,
you-
I don't have kids.
Mind your goddamn
Even I know
business.
that's wrong.
But how in the right mind of these parents would they let him take their kids on, to London, to New York City? I mean, give me a break, man.
Well, forget. All right, she's 12, so parents are probably still young, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's movie star, blah blah blah." So they maybe, So who knows what they're thinking? I'm sure their heart's in the right place, and nobody ever wants to think that. But it's like, come on,
Give me a break, man. I mean, I wouldn't. I would. I don't know. I would not even. It wouldn't even be a what? No fucking way. I would actually confront him, and I'd be like, "What are you doing? You want to take my son?
We got
want to take my son?"
eyeliner on for? Get the fuck out.
Yeah, she's 12 or he's 12 or whoever the kids. Why would you want to take him? Oh, I think it would be a good experience. Really? Because it's my kid. I think you need to back off. I don't. Where are the fathers? Like what? I don't get it.
Well, everyone's a beta now. It's like, I don't know. It's so.
Do you remember the movie? Do you remember?
I can't even read too much into those stories because it's so like, what the fuck are you thinking? What are you doing?
I don't know. I don't get it, man. Do you remember that? Do you remember that movie with Demi Moore and Robert Redford and what was it? Indecent Proposal.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Well, do you remember how they met? There's a scene where they're at a casino and they're watching Robert Redford play this high-profile game, and Robert Redford says to, what's his name? I forgot the actor's name. Can I borrow your wife for good luck?
Yes.
And then he goes, "Oh, you got to ask her. It's up to her. Is it really? Is it really up to her?"
No. It's who the fuck are you? I'm a fucking rip his eyes out. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. The movie
Was that the same one where he wrote for him $1 million to sleep?
Yeah, and that's how it starts. Woody Harrelson.
Okay.
Woody Harrelson is the name. I mean, seriously, like that movie would have been 20 minutes long if I was in it.
Yeah, it would have ended right there. Credits would have came up. I would have had one of those like the little scrolls come along. So he ended up in jail for murder, and he killed about 6 people.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
But imagine someone coming up to you and $1 million. Let's say, okay, let's take it, for inflation. So let's say that was today's money.
All right, so $5 million.
So if somebody came up to you and says, "Hey, listen, I'll give you fucking $25 million if I can sleep with your wife," I would pull my wife to the side and say, "Hey, listen, we're gonna agree to this." Then, right before it happens, I'm gonna kick the fucking door in, kill the fucking guy, take the money.
We're gonna be out. That's it. Oh shit! I don't know, man. I don't know if I could do that, dude. Like, that's my wife. I don't know. That's my wife, and she would lose complete respect for you for letting her do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like $25 million. That's my wife. I'm married. No.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, man.
I would. Okay, if some lady came up to you and said, "Hey, can I fuck your husband for $25 million?" How would you feel?
Yeah.
I smack the shit out of him right in front of the bar.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit. All right, what else is happening in the news?
I got the Hoover Dam.
The Hoover Dam.
Drying out.
Really?
That whole, it's a reservoir too. Whatever reservoir that leads into the Colorado River, whatever it is.
Okay.
So I guess building a fucking reservoir in the middle of a desert didn't really work out.
But how old is that thing?
It was built in the 20s. But
So
then
how
I was reading into it, and like they had scientists that said, no, this ain't gonna last very long. Like, it's gonna fucking start evaporate. Like it's in the desert, you know. It's rain out here. But with Hoover Dam, it powers.
Yeah, 4 states or something.
It powers a lot of, like I think it's Phoenix, maybe parts of Vegas,
Nevada, yeah.
Like it produces a lot of energy.
Yeah, several states or something like that.
Yeah, but it's like it's in the desert, and you guys don't get a lot of rain out there.
Yeah.
So why was that a good idea? Should have built it up in fucking Oregon, where it does nothing but rain.
Yo, but I don't mean to cut you off, but who's behind you?
Tom Cruise.
Already. He stopped in to do the news with us.
Yeah, he's making sure I stay away from certain subjects.
Okay. All right. Thank God.
But yeah, the Hoover Dam is dry, and you can see too. If you see the pictures, you can see the water level, like where it was, and it's like,
really. Wow.
So I'm like, well, what are you gonna do? But then California, and they must feed California some, energy and water also.
Mm-hmm.
California, and I read this, and I can't really tell you how good the source was, but I did read it, and they wanted to do like where they take salt water and they filter the salt out of it to make it drinkable.
Right.
I'm sure it's not one of those things like where they take a glass of salt water, pour it through a filter, and say, "Here, make it drink." I'm sure it's a whole big process.
I'm sure it's very expensive. Yeah, right.
But it's possible.
Okay.
I think they do it in Australia somewhere. But California was like, too much money. We got to spend money on,
Forget it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Fuck, water? Fuck out of here. We got water, buddy.
Who needs water? Fuck out.
But California, like, squashed that shit. For whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, it's just that whole side of the country, that whole corner.
Yeah, it's just strange people. That's where they released Cain Velasquez's son's pedophile. Remember, he was arrested for the day. They let him out that day. That's where this Ezra Miller's from. It's just that whole state's like a little batshit.
Well, a buddy of mine, he was U.S. Marshal. I'm not gonna say his name.
Mm-hmm.
And when he first got in, they sent him his first. Like he went to the academy. I don't know what the academy is, but they sent him to Sacramento. That's where he first worked at, the Sacramento office for U.S. Marshal.
Okay.
And he was there for a few years, and he came back. He was, working on New York. And he was actually, when they had El Chapo here, he was on the escort from Manhattan, the holding cell in Manhattan.
Okay.
It's up at the Brooklyn Bridge and take El Chapo to Brooklyn Supreme Court in downtown Brooklyn.
All right.
So he was, on a whole detail, but he said in California, he's like, it's like all child porn rings.
Really?
He's like, that's all it is. He's like, that's all it is. He's like, it's fucking California is fucked up.
Wow.
I'm like,
well, I know a lot of major businesses are leaving. I know Elon Musk moved his. I know that Ben Shapiro moved his studios. I know that Joe Rogan moved the studios.
Yeah, it's who wants to live there?
Yeah, I understand the taxes are crazy high. And, I don't know. And what else is happening in the news?
Cross that out. Oh, I came across a tweet from hold on, I jotted it down real quick, but it was from Harvard Business Review, and they got the blue check on Twitter, so they're legit,
Yeah, they're big time.
It says U.S. firefighters are overwhelmingly white and male, And here's why that needs to change.
Why doesn't it?
I was like, you know what? The next fire I see going on, I'm gonna run up to those guys and say, "Hey, you got enough them days here?
Yeah.
You gotta."
Oh, Lord have
It's
mercy.
so like, why? I don't know. I read that and I'm like, this is so stupid. Like that's.
First of all, I mean, I don't know about in other spots, but in New York City, they're dying for minorities to join the police and the fire department. They're at that. I mean, they get first choice. That's number one. The second thing is there was a show, like a reality show, almost like a Fear Factor kind of show, and I forgot what country, and you could Google it. I don't remember. And they had this mock. You gotta kind of run into this building, break a door down, and you have to take out this key, come out, and unlock something. It's like a kind of like a Fear Factor kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So there's a girl on one team, and it's mixed, right, guys and girls. So the girl goes in and she has to knock down this door. It's this door, and it's fake, but it's simulated like an actual real door.
Yeah, it's like a simulation. Yeah.
Right. She couldn't do it. She must have tried 5 times. She was exhausted, out of breath. She couldn't do it. She comes outside. She hands it off to the guy. The guy goes in there, one shot, goes right through the door.
Well, she loosened it up for him. That's
Yeah. Yeah. So imagine your family is on the other side of that, and there's a fire, and it's burning to a crisp, and the female firefighter just can't fucking.
Imagine being on the other side of the door. You hear someone trying to get in, like attempt after attempt after attempt. And the guy must be like, "There's got to be a female. It's got to be a chick.
It's got to be a girl." Yeah. It's unbelievable. Look, it is never going to change. Men are larger and stronger and faster than women. It is a biological difference. Period. I don't know why this is so controversial, but it's the truth.
They want to make everything fair.
And not to mention that, again, I can only speak in New York City. They are dying for minorities and women to join these agencies. They literally get first choice. You could pass the test barely, and if you're a chick and you want to be a firefighter, they got. How about this one? The large majority of the girls don't want to be firefighters.
Just like a lot of with the blacks, they don't want to do that job.
Yeah, a large majority of girls want to be teachers and social workers and nurses and things that involve people and compassion and so on and so forth. And I don't see anything wrong with that. As a matter of fact, I think it's in the Scandinavian countries where they are the most equal. So they have the most laws in place to make the outcome as equal as possible for men and women. And what happens? It actually had the opposite effect. Women still chose professions like teaching, social work, nursing, so on. And men still went into engineering, architecture, science,
trades.
I don't get it. Whatever. That's what they want to do.
Let them. With firefighters, it's not like I took that test twice, and my father was a firefighter. I didn't do well enough to get called, and I accepted it. I'm like, all right. Yeah, right. Like, oh, he dagger you, and I'm like, this ain't the 1940s. Like, it's not like that anymore.
Right.
And so I got to accept it. And it's like, and that's one of those tests where you're taking a test with like 40,000 other people.
Yeah.
But you only take like 120 per class or whatever it is.
Right.
So you got to be like the top of the top.
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those things. Like they don't discriminate. It's just the fuck. Like you didn't fucking pass the test. Like what do you want?
Anyway. All right. What else is happening in the news?
Well, I came across this interesting article that our tax dollars, $350,000 a year, to be precise, goes to haircuts in Congress.
What?
And yeah, they have their little barbershop there, which is, and a lot of these guys, they're not getting expensive haircuts because they look like shit. Trump's hair. Look at Trump's hair. I could do his hair. Like it's just.
Wait. So they don't pay for their own haircuts?
No, apparently not. If they want to go get cleaned up, they don't got to pay for that. Yeah,
so they actually have a barber in Congress.
There's a barbershop in there.
Wow.
And $350,000 goes to that a year.
Wow.
So in the past 5 years, past 12 years, I think it was like a little like a little over $5 million went to fucking haircuts.
Jesus. Think about that for a second. Think about all the perks they get. Think about that. They don't have to pay for hair.
They're exempt from everything they pass.
Yeah, right. And then they all have a perfect driving record because they get pulled over and they just say, "I'm Congressman so and so." Oh, sorry, Congressman. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Paul Pelosi.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Don't worry.
Keep going.
You could afford to get at us on your own, but we'll squash it for you.
Unbelievable, man. Whatever. Unreal. All right. So they don't pay for haircuts.
I'm sure the women do. They go to salons.
I'm sure. Yeah.
They shut down, but then when they want one, they could open back up.
Yeah. Who was it? Was it Pelosi that went, or no? It was
Nancy Pelosi.
That went. Yeah, that's right. That went to the hair salon when it was. Oh God.
The crypt keeper. I don't know how that is.
Yeah, she's like 107 years old.
I don't know. Did you see Joe Biden fall off his bike today?
No, I didn't. He fell off his bike?
He wasn't riding it. He stopped it. And then he just like tipped over.
Really?
He pulled up to a bunch of supporters. I saw it today for the first time, probably like an hour before we got on this.
That's like such a typical old man thing. Like, oh my God.
I know. I mean, what is this guy? Who has him on a bike? Who woke up this morning and said, "Hey, you know what? Let's put him on a bicycle."
Yeah.
This ain't gonna go south.
With no training wheels.
And he rode his bike in. He stopped because there was a bunch of people like, oh my God. And he just fucking went, meh.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh my God. Did he have Secret Service around him? Did they just let
them
fall?
They all fucking jumped up there. They picked him up.
Or they just let him fall and they laughed at him.
The ground's on them. It's the ground's fault.
Yeah. Oh, wow. All right. So he can't ride a bike anymore. All right.
He rode it fine. He rolled right in there. And he stopped and then he went, capsized. Right on.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I saw that today.
If he's not making, I would love to know if he's not making the decisions. If he's really mentally incapable, then who is? Who is?
I think it's everybody, that whole staff,
that whole cabinet, just out of control.
They're like, listen, this is popular. Let's
unbelievable. I don't know.
Well, Obama came on when all those kids got killed in Texas. Then Obama came on. He's like, "Oh, this is like George Floyd." It's like, why don't you like what the fuck? One thing has to do with the other. Like, these kids are just fucking. They weren't trying to pass fucking counterfeit bills. I mean, they were just sitting in the classroom. They all got fucking shot by some.
Yeah, that's not George Floyd all over again. That's not even close.
Why is it? That's two separate things. Like, stop bringing. You know what I was thinking? They should have like how they have like Pride Month and a month for this, a month for that, and all that stuff.
Right.
They should have a month where they don't bring up race at all. The media should be banned from bringing up race.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know how fucking fast everything would change with.
Yeah. That's right. Everybody would get along. Everybody would.
Yeah, because it's
everyone
shot some other asshole.
Yeah. Everybody would realize that the problems everybody has are the same.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody would. Right. Everybody would realize that the inflation affects everybody the same. Right. Unbelievable.
But they always make it like a black or white thing. But
you would think
they should be like, it should be like no bullshit month. Like no, like just cut the media off. Nobody wants to hear anything because all you do is report the same nonsense.
Yeah, it really is the same crap day in, day out.
I want to hear the funny stories. I want to hear
That's why they come to us to watch the news, bro. Because we're funny. Well, you're funny. So what's next?
I got I just broke my pen. All right, we did the tax thing that for haircuts. That's a pretty expensive haircut.
That's hysterical.
I got someone brought up, and I saw on TikTok, that Biden would be a great president if he came in and he didn't change anything.
Yeah, if he just skated.
Like if he could come in, he could have said whatever he wanted. But if he didn't sign any executive orders and everything would have just been the same.
Yeah.
Like this is the first guy in history that literally didn't have to do a thing to be president. Like,
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I understand people say that. I don't know how true that is. Only because, like we talked about once before, the only way inflation occurs is when money is printed with no value behind it. And so that started with Donald Trump in 2020 during the lockdown, and then it carried over into Joe Biden.
oh yeah,
You know?
the stimulus checks and all that shit.
Yeah, so I understand. People were freaking out; they're closed down, so giving them more money. But if you have one class in economics, then you realize that this was inevitable. But who the hell knows?
The stimulus thing was like, I didn't get anything. I didn't get any check.
I did. Me and the wife did.
Well, I'm single. I don't fucking.
You make too much.
But I didn't get anything. And then I heard people get like $1,600 checks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the fuck is that? What is that doing?
Unemployment was like double. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm like, that's another thing too. That's a socialist fucking.
Nobody wanted to go back to work because why go back to work when you're making more money on unemployment?
That was a big socialist idea, and they're like, oh yeah, but now see how it's working out because they print so much fucking money.
Yeah,
and you got people who probably never paid a fucking dime in income tax in their life.
Right.
Collecting all the stimulus checks, and it's like, well, that's your problem.
Yeah, that was if you just oh God. I mean, maybe if you didn't just panic and shut everything down, but whatever. Anyway.
Well, no, my theory. This is my theory. You ready for this one?
Okay, let's hear it.
My theory is because I remember when Trump came out. Trump's like, listen, it was the State of the Union right before there's a whole big outbreak, and he was like, listen, this fucking Wuhan lab and blah blah blah, and just gotta be careful. And it came from China. And they had all these politicians like Chuck Schumer, Pelosi. They're all down in Chinatowns. Like Chuck Schumer was in Chinatown, Manhattan. Pelosi was in Chinatown, San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
No, come on out. But then they realized, like, oh, this might be a little problem. Then they turned around and used it. Said, wait a second. We can shut the shit down. Use the mail-in ballots. And then we'll get all that. Like, we'll get this guy out of office.
Ooh, that's a good theory. That's a good theory.
They fucking changed their tune real fast.
Yeah, that's a good theory.
Especially when the vaccine came out. Trump's like, yeah, I got the vaccine. Go get it. I'm like, yeah, okay. No thanks, buddy. And even people on like CNN and MSNBC, like people who hated him, like, no, I'm not gonna trust him. I don't trust him. But as soon as Joe Biden got in, like, yeah, they should mandate it. They should make him get it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm like, huh? That really turned real fast.
But you know what's even funnier, man? I mean, you get to our age and you understand how politics work. I mean, I remember as a kid, the Republicans shitting on Bill Clinton, and then when George Bush came in, the Democrats shitting on George Bush, and it went back and forth, and people like aren't like hip to it at this point. It's like,
it's all politics.
Don't you realize that this is the game? Like that it's bullshit. That this is the game. It's a power play. They want to get in office, and it's a power play, and they just smear and just destroy. I mean, I don't know, whatever. All right, on to another good one. Let's see. Let's hear it.
All right, what else? What do you got?
The Joker sequel's coming out. The Joker sequel's coming out, and they are absolutely going to destroy this great movie because the first Joker was phenomenal. I guess Hollywood doesn't like making money. And apparently, Lady Gaga is playing Harley Quinn. And as if that wasn't bad enough, I hear they're going to make it a musical.
Well, they got to...
She can't act, so they got to make her sing. It's like when Elvis Presley was doing movies. Yeah.
The only good actor who was a singer, I don't think there was one. I don't know. J-Lo's not a good actor. She's just hot to look at. It's like, yeah, I'll go see that movie with J-Lo.
Yeah, it's horrible. The thing is, though, okay, Lady Gaga is not a good actress. She's not a shitty actress, but she's not good. But when you put her in a movie, with Joaquin Phoenix, who is an amazing actor, it's just going to make her look worse. It's unbelievable.
It's good. Well, she was in what was that movie?
Yeah, with Bradley Cooper. It was a remake.
Well, Bradley Cooper, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
And she was like, I remember watching it. I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
Even when her first big acting role was what is the scary show? The American
Horror Story?
Yeah, American Horror Story.
I never saw it. I never watched it.
Okay, so what's her name left the show? I can't remember her name. Hold on, let me get it. She was a great actress. I mean, the first 4 seasons she was in, and it was amazing. I can't remember Jessica Lange, who was phenomenal in the first 4 seasons. Right, the fourth season was so, but she was still good. She was great. I know. So she decides she doesn't want to do it anymore after 4 seasons. I guess maybe her contract was up, or she is getting older. And they replaced her with Lady Gaga, and the season tanked. I couldn't even finish it, dude. It was horrible. It's like, what are you doing? You can't. You're replacing greatness with mediocrity. It's like, what are you doing? Look, the bitch could sing. I'm not saying she could sing her ass off. All right, this bitch, she could sing her ass off. There's no question about it. But acting,
Forget it. Put me in the movie.
Yeah, really.
So that must mean he could act.
Yeah. It's just, what else did I send you? I sent you a bunch of stuff. I think she was composition lineup. Let's see. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so here's the actor on the run, the Joker. Fox News did a whole thing, like a whole positive thing on transgenderism, and every conservative talking head and Fox News watcher was freaking out. It was like a 10-minute thing, and and the other thing I sent you was that Netflix is dropping like another 70% of their value.
Netflix is
they're really shitting the bed. They're really shitting the bed. It's fucking hard.
With the Fox News thing, they had I got it right here. Well, Fox, it's if you watch the commercials, like they're brought to you by the same people that bring you CNN.
I see what you're saying. Okay, right.
They're all, it's all corporate.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Like I said, I don't have a problem with transgender thing, but it's like, do your thing and just shut up about it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with somebody who wants to dress up. I dress up like a woman. The 2 things that bother me the most, though, is the taking away women's scholarships when they put a guy in a college athletic role, like that swimmer. The other thing is when they put a guy in a combat sport like a UFC or boxing, because that's totally unfair. That happened. One of the trans girl's name was Valen Fox, and she actually broke a girl's skull in UFC. And the other thing that bothers me is the kids. Like, let kids be kids. Like, you shouldn't be transitioning kids. Do you know in this country right now there are 5? You could Google this. This is easily verifiable. There are 5 hospitals in this country right now that are dedicated to transitioning kids below the age of 18.
Yeah, I read that.
It's 5.
Your brain doesn't fully mature until like 27 or some shit.
Yeah. And do you know one of the drugs that they give the kids? I forgot what it was called. I have to look it up and see what the drug was called. But it's the same drug they give pedophiles to kill their sex drive so that they don't go after kids. So they don't go, So it's basically a chemical castration, they refer to it as. But they give that to kids. And they claim that you could just pause puberty and everything is irreversible, which I find that very, very hard to believe.
Well, I wanted to be a fucking Lego when I was like 4. I'm glad my parents didn't fucking mold me in plastic.
What would you do? Just stand there like this?
Yeah, give me hands like this.
That's right. And you can only put
make the floors out of pegs and put holes in my heels so I can stand in them.
Yeah, that's right.
The fucking kids are stupid. And yeah, I want to be a robot.
That's it. And the only thing they could fit is that tool they gave you. So if it was the construction worker, it was like the hammer. That was the only thing they could fit in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Like the fucking camera guy.
Yeah.
The peg, squeeze the peg in his hand.
Yeah. That was the only thing they could fit in there. Legos were. I didn't never understood Legos. They were so boring.
My brother was more into Legos. I was into Matchbox cars and
yeah. There was like I was into action figures, the He-Man and what was the other one? Wrestling figures. Remember the big Hulk Hogan wrestler? By the way, whatever happened to all the action stars? Why are the action stars in the 80s like jacked up men that would kick the shit out of you? And today the action stars are like Spider-Man, some skinny
vegans. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how is he going to save you? I don't get it, you know.
Spider-Man says, what are you, fucking 14? Get the fuck out of here.
I slap him in the mouth. Get out of here, kid.
Unless you got some weapons inside of your wrist, you better run.
Kick that shit out of you, little bastard. Get out of here. And you can't hit Spider-Man because he's a minor and he'll sue.
Oh, don't. Then you go to jail.
Yeah.
He probably touched me. No, it was a smack to the face, asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, because you deserve it.
But that's the difference, too, if you look back. Because I remember with the toys, like, it was just, they were like, look at the case of Predator.
Yes. Yes.
Schwarzenegger. Testosterone through the fucking roof.
Apollo Creed, who was Carl Weathers, right? Schwarzenegger and Jesse Ventura.
All those guys.
All those guys. They were huge.
What they have? Billy Ham, the Native American.
That's right.
Jacked up.
Yeah, that's right.
Testosterone through the roof. Now it's like that's like frowned upon.
There was a rumor floating around that they used to work out on set, and then they had one day they had a bench press competition. I don't know how true it is, but of course Schwarzenegger won.
When I heard that, I forgot where I read it, but Billy, the Native American, he would fucking, he was just fucking crazy. And he used to go after them.
Really?
So they had to have him work out separately.
Get out of here. Why would he go after them? That's screwed
I don't know. He's probably just he's probably a man's man. So, fuck you. He's probably all natural.
Yeah. The only guy out of those three, Carl Weathers, Schwarzenegger, or Jesse Ventura, that I wouldn't mess with would be Jesse Ventura. Because wasn't he a Navy SEAL?
He was. I don't know.
He was a Navy SEAL, and then he was a professional wrestler. And back then, I had interviewed Big John Studd's son, and he actually said, and I agreed with him. I know that this much is true. Is back then that if you wanted to be a professional wrestler in the 70s, 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even into the 90s, you legitimately had to be a tough guy. Like they didn't really want, because the whole idea was that the crowd is telling you it's fake, but you're telling them that it's real.
Okay.
So there was actually a wrestling promoter. I think it was Vern Gagne. I'm not 100% sure. So the guys, after they would wrestle, they would go out because there was no Netflix. There was nothing like that. So they would go out. Yeah. They'd go to bars, and then of course the local tough guys or whoever, they would be like that. That shit. They'd get drunk and they'd be like, "Gosh, that shit's fake. You're full of shit," and they would have to prove that they weren't full of shit. So anyway, they would fight, and I'm pretty sure that I think the promoter was Vern Gagne. I might be wrong, but if he found out that you lost the bar fight, you got fired. You lost your job.
That's like 6'6".
Yeah. So a lot of them were legitimate tough guys. A lot of them were ex-football players. They were shoot fighters. They were had background in wrestling. Like the Iron Sheik was like in the top 5 wrestlers from Iran. You go down. Ric Flair was a collegiate wrestler. And these guys could really handle themselves. What's his name? Do you remember Haku?
Yeah.
Haku actually studied martial arts in the Far East for like 7 years before he became a professional wrestler. But today,
these guys could grapple. Like
those guys were no joke back then. Those guys would fuck people up. But today, if you are a legitimate tough guy, you don't go into professional wrestling. You go into UFC. You go into mixed martial arts. That's what they want. Yeah. But back then, if you had a wrestling background or a shoot background or a jiu-jitsu background or anything like that, the only way to make money was to become a professional wrestler, because there was no other way to do it. You couldn't make money after you finished college as a collegiate wrestler. You couldn't do.
Well, look at Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
He does wrestling. He was a fucking a football player.
Yeah. He tried.
The guy's just fucking.
Yeah. He was a collegiate wrestler. He tried football. He left wrestling to become a football player. He got cut. And then he went into the UFC, became the heavyweight champion, and went back to wrestling, which really kind of like ruins wrestling for me because it's like, how can I watch it when I know that
This
Brock
guy, he legit fucking killed him.
Yeah, like how can I? Yeah, exactly. I can't really because I don't know if you remember this, but after he won the heavyweight title, he came back to wrestling and he had to wrestle Goldberg, and Goldberg was like in his 50s, and Goldberg and wrestling kicked the shit out of him, and I'm like, nah. That wouldn't
fucking worked out.
happen. That wouldn't happen. And it was like, oh, this is ridiculous. Anyway, so did Tom Cruise do his job?
Yeah, he did. I guess
he did his job. What does he do? Just stare at you, like mean
Dude,
motion?
His eyes follow me when I walk past it.
Yeah,
it's fucking creepy.
He just mean motion so that you stay in line.
I got this from Applebee's. I took it to my mother's house.
Wait a minute, you got it from Applebee's? What do you mean?
The Applebee's in Staten Island Mall. They had two of them. I'm like, I told the boss, I'm gonna take Tom Cruise. Boss was like, go ahead. I think I wasn't gonna do it. Dude, I fucking folded them up.
So you just
fucking seat.
So you just took Tom Cruise from Applebee's.
Yeah. He didn't complain. He's like, all right, yeah.
And he just let you take it. He just.
Then I put him in my mother's dining room. My mom was like, oh my god, she fucking got scared. Yeah. But it takes a while because you see this figure standing there. It's like, you think, and my father's dead, so he don't live here anymore.
Yeah.
So she knows it's not him.
It's just that some strange man in my dining room.
Yeah, so it's fucking Tom Cruise. But now she's used to it. It's like, oh, I'll take him out of here if you want. I'll put him someplace else. It's like, no, it's all right. Is
it filling any kind of like companionship for your mom? Is that it? That's why she likes him now?
I don't know. I was gonna take him to work with me, but I don't know.
Was it a life-size thing?
Yeah, it's about my height.
Get out of here, really?
Tom Cruise ain't my height, though. It's fucking... The Pulse is my height. The Tom Cruise ain't.
You're a pisser. So you carried this life-size Tom Cruise figure from Applebee's. You fold it in half. You threw it over your back, and you walked through the Staten Island Mall and took it home with you.
Yeah.
And nobody said a word.
Nobody said anything, but I got looks.
Okay.
I wanted it. I was like, oh, I'll take that. Because in my head, I was like, I'll take the work, and we'll make a joke out of it.
Yeah.
But if I did take it to work, someone's going to draw a swastika on his forehead. Someone's going to give him like a Hitler mustache. It's just going to go downhill.
Okay.
Someone's gonna put like cardboard horns on him.
It's not gonna be a good look, yeah.
But it'd be fun.
So you left it in your mother's living room or dining room, rather.
Yeah. Well, that's where I am now, but it's.
I'll tell you, you're a character, man. All right.
I mean, how many people have a Tom Cruise fucking cutout in their fucking mom's dining room?
You're the only one, dude. You're the only one that has life-size Tom Cruise in their mom's dining room.
Dude. Fucking Maverick, bro.
Only person it's Maverick now. That's it. Did you see the new Maverick?
I did.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
My brother liked it. He said he went to see. He said he liked it.
It wasn't woke. That's what was good about it.
Oh, okay.
Because their target audience must have been kids, from like the 80s, 70s, and 80s.
Well, right. So it was our generation bringing their kids to see it.
It's like it's a man's man. Like it's
right.
I mean, no matter how crazy Tom Cruise might be, like I'll watch anything with him because he puts out a good movie.
Tom Cruise is probably the last real American Hollywood superstar.
That hasn't. He don't put out stupid tweets.
Yeah, he's
You
probably
know,
the last real, celebrity superstar. Like when we were kids, there was a lot of them. But now I think he's probably the last one.
yeah, he stays true to himself. He's like, he's like, what the fuck? I mean, he's nuts, but it's like whatever. Like,
that is what it
I
is.
believe in aliens and
And Scientology.
Yeah. Well, John Travolta's a Scientologist, and he don't seem too crazy.
Yeah.
He just seems, dude. They did something on 86th Street under the L.
Yeah.
It was like Broken Day or some shit, whatever it was, and he came dressed as like whatever his name was in Saturday Night Fever.
What was his name? Shit.
I'm like, he looks like
Tony Manero.
He looks like a wax figure.
Dude, I'm sure he's had plastic surgery. How old is he? He's got to be he's got to be close to 60 at this point.
He's probably over that.
And every movie he does now in the last, I would say, 8 years has just turned to shit. He did that Gotti movie.
That Gotti thing. I'm like,
nobody watched it.
Why would they allow that?
There was a movie on Netflix I never heard of. I'm like, what the hell is this? Anyway, all right, let's call it quits. It's 45 minutes in. Justin from Brooklyn, thank you very much for doing the news with us. Entertaining as always. We did not have one. We did not have one a comment, but that's okay. That's all right.
No, we also didn't have anything that you can't say on.
Oh yeah. We didn't have. You know what that reminds me of? Remember the movie Knocked Up, where he goes, "You got to take care of the baby for baby ears over here." I'll just say shmushmorphin. Get a shmushmorphin.
Earmuffs. What was that? Old school earmuffs.
Yeah. See, fuck shit. You say whatever you want. See, fuck. All right, brother. Till next week.
Yeah. So hopefully we do Friday again.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. Friday I'm off because I'm working tomorrow.
How are you doing? Shift work now?
No, I get the holiday because Juneteenth is a national holiday, so I have to work Sunday and Monday, which means I'm off the following Friday.
We don't have that. That's not a holiday for us.
Too bad, man. I'm making that money. All right, bro. I'll see you next week.
All right, John. I'll talk to you later, bro.